What's up, airplane collectors? Welcome back to another video. It's your host Ray. Today I'll be reviewing the NG model 1:400 scale United Airlines Boeing 737-900. This model was released in October of 2021. However, due to delays, this model didn't start arriving to collectors until January of 2022. So basically this review will go like this. First, I'll talk about the box and its features briefly. Then I will begin an in-depth analysis and discussion of the model's features. And at the end of the video, I will give you guys my personal opinion from a collector's perspective about what I think of the model overall. So let's start. So here's the box. It looks really nice. Box art looks cool. I'll show you guys around the box real quick. So here's the front. Here's the bottom. Right side. Top. Left side. And here's the back. Take a moment to read this if you'd like to. Box is normally sized, sitting at just shy of 13 centimeters in terms of length and height, and in width it's a little longer than 3.5 centimeters, so it's reasonably sized for the model that it's holding. When you open up the box, you'll get the model, and you'll find it a little bit difficult to remove, but you'll also receive this card for NG's new Collector Rewards Plan program. Just a little note on this I find really cool. We're getting amazing quality models plus rewards for that, so that's really nice. So yes, this model does include the new NG Collector Rewards Plan. And here's the model, so I'll give you guys a quick look around it. Apologies if my fingers get in the way, but sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's talk some specs. So in terms of length, from the tip of the nose to the end of the tail, the model is 11 centimeters long. Wingspan is 9 centimeters, and from the floor to the tip of, or the floor or the ground or whatever this thing is sitting on, in this case the desk, to the tip of the tail, it's roughly 3.5 centimeters. So it's reasonably sized, accurate for 1/400 scale. So that's that. Now I will begin the in-depth analysis and discussion of the model's features. So first we'll start up with the fuselage, and at the front of the fuselage, here you can see the nose, and you can see a lot of nicely done printed detail. Cockpit windows look fine. Recently I've seen collectors or other collectors complaining about the nose shape and the cockpit window printing. I think it looks fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. So form your own opinion about that. Nose shape looks good as per usual, and the cockpit windows, I think those are still accurate. Let's start moving down the fuselage. You can see the giant United titles, exit doors, this rear exit door here, and of course the tail section. Here's the right side. Take a moment to observe that. I'm going to talk about the antennas really quick. The antennas on this model are extremely small. They look like they're attached tightly and hard to break, but just seriously be careful for poking yourself with them. Of course, they're very tiny and probably easy to break, but I noticed no alignment issues or anything, so that's really nice. Here's the other side of the nose if you guys want to look at that. I want to briefly touch on the Wi-Fi dome here. You guys can see that the top section is gray, while this bottom section here, or the side, is white. This also happened on the left side, and I originally thought this was an inaccuracy or a painting issue, but if you actually search up the model's registration, which is November 38417, you can see that this painting here is actually really accurate, so kudos to NG on that one. That was pretty cool. Here's the wing. As you can see, it's very nicely detailed, decent amount of printed detail, and lots of detail for the air brakes and the flaps, very nicely done. Something I'm personally picky about, the scimitar winglets. As per usual, NG did a very good job on these. I noticed no defects whatsoever, and they seem very accurate, so very good job on NG's part for that. Here's the bottom of the wing really quick. I just want to show you guys this. There's really not much to see down here. Let's discuss the tail for a bit. The tail looks really nice. The color fade from the light blue here to the almost black here, it seems a little like it's underdone. It's very hard to notice. Honestly, I'm fine with that, but if you're picky about the tail shade here, then that's something to look out for. But aside from that, tail section looks fine. Horizontal stabilizers look good. They have a little bit of hair on them, if you can see that. But I don't see any printed detail on these, which I think is accurate, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, very nicely done. Here's the APU for those that are curious. Also looks pretty solid. Now let's get into the power plant of this amazing plane. Let's talk about the engines. The engines are phenomenal, to say the least. You can see that very, very nicely done overall. Lots of printed detail, and you can even see the little bits at the end of the exhaust are present, which is really nice. Here's the bottom of the right engine, by the way. Again, very nicely detailed. Overall, very satisfactory. Here's what the front of the engines and the fan blades look like. They're shaded like a dark metallic gray, which looks really cool. So here's the model on its backside. Let's talk about the bottom of the aircraft for a bit. A lot of printed detail down here, looks pretty good, and you've got three antennas down here to work with. You got one right here, and one right here. Something I noticed on this release is that these bottom antennas here aren't painted red like the previous United 737s that NG has released. I'll pull up an example real quick. So on the left side of the screen you can see the 737-900 that I am reviewing in this video, and on the right side you can see the previously released 737-700, and you can see that these bottom antennas here are red while these are white. So that was a little difference that caught me off guard, but it's not an issue. And here's the 737-800 released in 2020, so you can see those red antennas down here too. So I'm not sure why NG decided to do white antennas on this one, but it's just something to take notice of. Let's discuss the landing gear real quick. Landing gear is pretty solid. However, something I'd like to point out is that one of the landing gears was not rotating, so I had to pinch it pretty tight and start forcing it to move. It was actually this one here that wasn't moving. But sure enough, it started rolling, so just keep that in mind. You might get a stiff wheel or two. And unfortunately, my friend who I mentioned earlier, they ordered this model and one of the wings was separated. So yes, these models may arrive broken, however the chances are pretty unlikely. Here's the front wheel, looks good as always. Wheels roll, nothing wrong with it really, so very nice job. Let's talk wing flex. As you can see, here's the front of the aircraft, and also if you guys are picky about the cockpit windows, here's a good view of those if you'd like to analyze that. Let's talk wing flex. Wing flex is, as per usual, not a problem on this model. It's very nicely done, very high quality overall, so if you're concerned about wing flex, you have nothing to worry about. That concludes my in-depth analysis of the model. If you have any questions or I missed anything, feel free to drop those down below in the comments and I'll answer those as soon as I can. Now time for my personal opinion. Honestly, this is a very good model. I highly recommend it if you're interested in it, and get it soon because I know this will sell like hotcakes, so if it isn't already out of stock, get your hands on one of these as soon as possible. It's very good, I highly recommend it, very high quality, and it includes that collector rewards program, so honestly, I really have nothing to say against this model. It's seriously one of the best models I've ever received. Now to finish the video, here's a picture I've wanted to take for a very long time. When I got my first NG model, which was the United Airlines 737-800 here, on I think it was November 4th, 2020, I had a dream that one day I would have all three of the 737 variants in the new United livery, all made by NG model, and yesterday when I got the 737-900, that picture was made possible, and here it is. So these three are probably the best model, or some of the best models in my fleet, and yeah, they're really cool. I like them a lot, and I'm glad I was able to finally make this here, so that's pretty nice. That concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if I missed anything, feel free to comment that down below. If you like 1 to 4 scale airplanes, feel free to subscribe because I have a few more of those, few more reviews coming as well, so stay tuned for that. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.